What is good, everyone? This is Al Speed, and this is going to be my movie review for the movie Ghostbusters. Now, along with this video, there's going to be another video of another movie that I recently saw, and it's just going to be a sort of back-to-back sort of thing. So, for this review, I just wanted to talk about, well, the big controversial movie that I know I'm late in seeing. Don't tell me I am. Don't tell me I'm not, because I am. But, it took me a while to actually just go ahead and watch this movie. Not because I didn't want to. Like, I always have mild curiosity for controversial things. Batman v Superman, curiosity, want to go see if it's true or not, and all the other stuff. But this isn't about DC. This is more about the movie Ghostbusters. So, yeah. Ghostbusters got a lot of heavy hits, a lot of negative reviews, a lot of people didn't like it. There was a sort of line drawn in the sand about how if you liked the movie, then, you're a sellout. If you didn't like it, you're a misogynist, and just so on and so forth. It was horrible. And the outcome from the movie, it got horrible reviews. All the people involved were completely getting shots taken at them on Twitter and all social media, especially one of the actresses, the black actress, who was faced with so much racism and so much just misogyny. It was just horrible. Like come on, man. You can hate the movie, but don't hate the people involved. They're just actors. But it was crazy, man. But the movie in general, what did I think about it? Well, let me just go ahead and say, going into this movie, I actually had my doubts, because, the trailers didn't really impress me like I thought they would. Some things I was laughing at, some things I wasn't, some things I just wasn't feeling, and all in all, my experience with it can basically be summed up into this. I am not a Ghostbusters fan. Just putting that out there. I've never really watched the original Ghostbusters. So, before you start disliking me and just moving away from this video, let me just go ahead and say that this is actually a good thing, because I went into this movie without any prior knowledge of what Ghostbusters is. I remember seeing it back when I was really young, but, that was a long time ago. I was I don't know, that's a really young kid, so I probably barely remember the movie. And I have not re-seen the series, because I think there's two movies, two Ghostbusters movies, and I have not seen them at all since I was young. So I'm going into this with a fresh mindset and no prior knowledge of Ghostbusters whatsoever. And I guess you can say this is my first entryway into the Ghostbusters series, to just see it. I understand that this is not like the original Ghostbusters. I know that because, with reboots, there's always a sort of difference from the original and the new one. So, but this is basically me going into this Ghostbusters movie without any prior knowledge of the original. And my all-around take on it, well, it wasn't a bad movie, there are some parts that I was laughing at and some parts that I just kind of rolled my eyes at the sort of cliche that they were going for. One thing I was surprised about with the movie was that it didn't really gloss upon the fact that they were female Ghostbusters, It didn't do that thing where every male character was just a complete misogynist and was just a complete asshole to these female characters, in the sense of, judging them because they were women. And basically all the male characters basically just judged them by the fact that they were just these crazy four people who apparently hunt ghosts. And that's what I was hoping they were going for, and they did. And I appreciated that they weren't really, pushing the fact that, oh, look, they're females, they shouldn't be doing all this stuff, this should be a man thing. And I'm glad they didn't push for that, It was solid in that aspect. The comedy for it. Honestly, I did end up laughing at a lot of the scenes that were funny. The wonton soup sort of gag, the Kevin, I think his name's Kevin being a freaking moron every second that made me laugh. Like, I knew that was gonna make me laugh. And just a few other things that just really ended up making me giggle, making me laugh out loud, making me do all that. But I think the reason why I was laughing so much was because I watched it with my friends, and watching a movie with your friends is a lot better than watching it by yourself because it's not as interesting. So after really watching it both by myself and with friends, there's a big difference between how they're interpreted. With friends, it's funny, and you start to, it starts to grow on you. By yourself, it just feels a bit barren and a little lost, but still has a little bit of fun in there. The characters. Like, I can honestly tell you, I cannot remember a single name of any of those characters in there. Not because they were forgettable. I don't want to say they were forgettable because, Miss McCarthy, she's like one of my favorite actresses, and I like watching all her movies because she always makes me laugh. Even if the movie isn't that good, I can always get a good laugh from her. I liked the blonde hair girl. She was like this crazy chick who was also really awesome. I can tell why Tumblr really likes that female character. The black girl, she was alright. I laughed at a few of her stuff, but she was just a little obnoxious here and there, but it was enjoyable still. And then of course there's the main female character with the brown hair and all that, the nerdy girl. She was so-so in my opinion. I didn't really feel like she was main character material, but just the character to like connect the rest of the characters together. But that's just me. What else to say? Oh, the gadgets in this movie. The gadgets in this movie are actually really pretty. They're just pretty cool, actually. I'm not gonna lie. Like, the way they use these gadgets and these weapons and explaining how they're being used. I'm sure in the old movies they explained how they were used. But in this one, they had not only the classic, gun-sucking weapons that they had in the original Ghostbusters, but they also had like these grenades, these ghost grenade bombs. They had this shredder. They had this like fist punching weapon. They had like dual Ghostbuster guns. I really, especially the scene where the blonde girl uses the guns and she's just shooting them all around, and it's just amazing. But movie itself, the story was, I think, basically what the original Ghostbusters was, where there's these four people hunting ghosts. People don't believe them. They cause a lot of controversy, and then by the end, people believe them because of the giant ghosts that are coming all around New York City, which was another thing. The special effects in this movie are actually really cool, but I'm probably saying that because, I'm more into new generation stuff, like nostalgia kind of wipes away on me, I notice flaws in nostalgia for new generation sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes. And with special effects, it looked really cool. Some of the ghosts in these movies looked amazing. Not to say that the originals weren't amazing, because I did see clips and I did see some scenes, and I do remember some stuff from the original movie. And from what they had back then, they really made the ghosts feel like they're actually there. With this one, however, it's you can kind of tell they're fake. You can kind of tell they're just CG'd in there sometimes. But it's still good. I still enjoyed the CGI that they used. I really liked the effects that they were going for. I probably sound like I'm rambling, but So, the movie, all in all, there were even some cameos from old Ghostbusters characters that I know were from the original Ghostbusters. They had the black guy, they had Bill Murray, which was kind of sad how he ended up dying. Spoiler alert, yes, he died in the movie, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people didn't even go watch the movie to see it. But, yeah, these were some... I really enjoyed the movie, It had its flaws here and there, like some of the comedy was a little off. Some jokes went on too much. Sometimes there was a funny build up, and then it just kind of spiraled down to this awkward sort of cringe fest where they just keep the joke going and going when it should have ended like right here, but they just kept bringing it, and then it slowly started to fall down. And that's how I felt about that. But the movie itself, it got a lot of hate. It got a lot of heat from a lot of older fans. I know a lot of people didn't even bother to see it, and most likely a lot of people probably won't even give it a fair chance. I was like a little skeptical at first, not because of being a Ghostbusters fan, which I'm not, but as to whether or not it's going to be a good movie or not. And for the most part, it was all right. Not the worst movie I've ever seen, but I ended up having a good laugh from it. So, like I said, this is probably going to be like a very short video about how I felt about it, but all in all, if I had to give it a score, it would probably be a 6 out of 10. When you see it with friends, it's a lot more enjoyable. When you see it by yourself, you tend to see the flaws and hiccups in the story, some of the editing, the CGI, some of the jokes. It starts to show itself when you see it by yourself. But that's my all-around take on it. 6 out of 10. Not that bad, but not that good. But anyway, that's all I have to say for this video. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys later.